Welcome into PFF's 2-Minute Drill. Austin Gayle here with Eric Edholm of Yahoo Sports and Mike Renner talking NFL Draft today. PFF dropped its NFL Draft Guide preseason 2021 NFL Draft Guide yesterday, so we're going all in on the draft. Eric, I'll start with you. Right now, who is the best edge defender in the 2021 class?
Yeah, it's a pretty good question. I mean, if you like upside, I would say Gregory Rousseau from Miami has to be, the one with maybe the most movement, the guy who could possibly be the best. But, I'm not sure he's close to a complete player at this point. Kwity Paye, same thing. So, I would have to sort of go between those two and maybe Jason Oweh from Penn State. They're all really interesting talents. I just don't know if we know at this moment who's the best and who could be the best, say, 5 years down the road.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the consensus is we just don't know. We need this season for these guys. This was a crucial season for these edge rushers. They're so athletic, so many of those guys. I'd even throw Florida State's Joshua Kendo in that mix in terms of just guys with these freakish athletic ability, but no sort of on-field pass rushing moves to speak of at this point whatsoever. So to me, it's either Rousseau or I'd say Carlos Basham of Wake Forest, because I think there's a tried and true, I'd feel the safest about Basham working in the NFL. That guy is 6'5", 275 pounds. There's a tried and true sort of path to success for a guy that explosive and that big on the edge in the NFL. He might not be elite ever, but I think he's just going to be a good NFL player. So I'll say one of either Rousseau or Basham, depending on what you value more.
Yeah, I would argue that Basham probably has the highest floor in this class, but the name of the game for this edge defender class in 2021 is upside. So many guys with really good tools, really good athleticism. Rousseau, Oweh, Kwity Paye, all those guys have freakish athleticism and a lot of things to like from a tools perspective, but you need to see more production. The most productive edge defender in this class is a guy that doesn't even weigh 240 pounds playing at Duke, and Chris Rumph, who has all these pass rush moves. I love the technique off the edge, but he's just not big enough. Isn't that toolsy prospect like some of these other guys. I'd probably lean Boogie Basham as well, because you have seen that production, and he isn't undersized by any means. I think the path to success in the NFL is it's easier to be seen for obviously Boogie Basham over some of these other guys. Moving forward, regardless of position, Eric, let's start again with you. Who do you think is some of your favorites or one of your favorites in this upcoming class?
I feel like you guys aren't looking for the Trevor Lawrence or the Penei Sewell answer here, so I'll do just slightly different down a little bit here. I would say, as far as somebody who, if they play this year, could maybe make a big jump, is Christian Barmore from Alabama. Just a young, especially in a defensive tackle class where I'm still kind of figuring out who are the first-round talents potentially, who are the second and third-round talents. I haven't seen anybody explode. I was a little actually disappointed with Marvin Wilson the more I kind of dug into him. So, Barmore, I think, has, that potential to be, I don't know if he's going to be a top 10 pick or anything, but I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up a first-rounder if he plays well this year, or just teams projecting that upside. And then, the more I watch Kyle Pitts from Florida, the tight end, the more I can appreciate his skill set. I liked him last year. I liked him a lot. I TV scouted the heck out of him, but the more I kind of dug into him, I thought, this guy has some freaky ability. I mean, he could be really special.
Yeah, I'm going to second the Kyle Pitts answer there, because I hate tight ends. I do not want to draft one in the first round, because I think they can very easily be taken out by a defense. A lot of them cannot separate against, if you put a Richard Sherman, a good cornerback on them, they get shut down. I don't think that's going to be the case with Kyle Pitts. I think if he was just a wide receiver, he'd be a first-round talent. I think that's just how good of an athlete is, how already talented he is at getting open down the football field. So I'll second the Kyle Pitts answer there, and I'll throw in our Darius Washington from TCU.
Tiny.
His only negatives basically center around how big the guy is. If that's your only negative you're talking about on a guy's tape, it's pretty damn good tape. He was downgraded only 4 times in our PFF system in coverage all last season. 4 times. That is a ridiculously low rate. The guy just plays very sound football from the safety position. But he's 5'8", 175, so.
Our Darius Washington also, despite his small frame, doesn't miss a ton of tackles. I think he ranked first or second in only 3 missed tackles this past year, so that's impressive as well. My guy right now, and Mike knows this, is Chris Olave, the wide receiver at Ohio State, who I really do hope can find a way to play this upcoming year to show more off of what he can do, because I think he's really the most polished route runner in this class. He saw a ton of off coverage concepts playing at Ohio State, but winning in single coverage concepts against off coverage, I think, is really important. I think a guy that comes to mind is Calvin Ridley, who didn't see any press last year. Fewer than 20% of his snaps against press, but still was able to create separations on longer, deep routes despite cornerback leverage there against off coverage. So I think Chris Olave, a very polished route runner, one of my favorites in this class. All right. The Big Ten and the Pac-12, MAC included, Mountain West Conference, there's a handful of teams that likely won't have an opportunity, or at least these draft-eligible players won't have an opportunity unless a spring season can happen, which is obviously in doubt, to put more things on tape. Who do you think of those groups needs a Senior Bowl invite the most?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe, I'm thinking from the Big Ten, somebody like, Amir Smith-Marset, a little bit of a light frame, and he got some respectable grades over the summer from NFL scouts. He's had some standout moments and then some bad games like Wisconsin last year where, he dropped some passes and his concentration levels seem to be kind of wavering a little bit. And then I sort of think about, some of the Pac-12 prospects like, Frank Darby or something like that, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the next in line of those three, Arizona State with Ayuk and N'Keal Harry. You figured this is Darby's breakout season. He could be pretty interesting right there. A really tremendous athlete, uses his frame well, with an emerging young quarterback in Jalen Daniels too. So that's a big loss for him. So he's somebody who obviously comes to mind.
Yeah, I focused a lot on the Big Ten guys because that's kind of where a lot of the top prospects were once they canceled. Not too much on the Pac-12, but there's one guy who's top 20 on our board who has not played really since 2018, and it's Walker Little. Yeah. And he's redshirt junior, so I think he will be eligible for the Senior Bowl if he does graduate. And he has played only 72 snaps since 2018, got injured last year in the Northwestern game, didn't play the rest of the season. He was some people's offensive tackle one heading into 2019 in this loaded tackle class that had four guys go in the top 15 picks. He was some people's offensive tackle one. I think another year of school would just this one's really hurting him, the fact that he can't play this fall. Coming back in 2021 seems kind of ridiculous for him. If he goes to Senior Bowl, though, and has a lights-out performance, I think he can still end up the first rounder.
Yeah, get some more reps at the Senior Bowl and test well, because Walker Little, the coveted recruit, is going to test well. So I think if you could put some good reps on at the Senior Bowl, that'd be huge for his stock. A guy I'll bring up is Shaun Wade, the Ohio State cornerback safety type of hybrid. And I think he's on that fringe of being a top 32 player, a first-round pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. If he can just get some more reps, shine at outside corner. And at Senior Bowl, some of the biggest opportunities are in those one-on-one situations. If he could go into the Senior Bowl and light it up, come out of that as a key winner, out of that week as a key winner, I think it could help him push into the first round, keep him from falling into day two and being pigeonholed as this slot, less valued box safety. So I think Shaun Wade to the Senior Bowl would be big.
And if not, his dad will drive down there and make sure it happens, right? He's got the finger on the pulse of the Big Ten.
Shaun Wade's dad loves him some Shaun Wade content, good or bad. He gets all over. That's 100% fact.
Just don't fly Spirit Air. That's all I'm saying right there. Yeah.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.